picture this. You're looking for a job. You have applied to so many positions that you have lost track of where you have sent your resume. Then all of a sudden, you get this text. Too good to be true, right? Right. You likely have seen it before. Random texts from alleged recruiters spamming your phone with offers for remote and cushy jobs at well-known companies. But how did they get your number? And what do they really want? To find out, I replied to one of those messages. The response? They claimed to get my info from job platforms like JobStreet and LinkedIn. This appeared to be a lie. Not only did Camilla from Expert Staffing stop replying after I pressed her with more questions, but my number was not publicly accessible on LinkedIn or JobStreet. Meanwhile, I reached out to LinkedIn, who assured the privacy of their users are safe from data scrapers. So where are these scammers getting our information? Anandya Sen, cybersecurity and privacy expert, shed some light on the possibilities.
Well, historically, you might have had your phone number up on an existing website, for example, online CV, right? But you also have data brokers, and data brokers are usually work under the radar sometimes, and they're really good in collecting data, which is archived in the web. That's definitely one way for them to collect this type of information. Then they sell this information. Sometimes this information can consist of details of yours which you weren't aware of, which can be accessed from archived information, and you have not consented to this information being sold.
To get a better understanding of who these scammers are and what their end game is, I spoke with Detective David Coffey from the Toronto Police Service.
Yeah, well, when we're talking about job scams, primarily what they're trying to do is they're trying to facilitate money laundering. A lot of cases. So the job scams may entail things like, okay, you've got this great job, we're going to pay you all this money, we're going to send you a check. They'll send you a check and then they'll invariably ask you to move that money around. Here's a $10,000 check. You need $2,000 of it to set up your office. Send the rest of it, the remainder of it, to this bank account or to this bank account. And essentially what they're doing is they're creating money mules. They're turning their victims into money mules to facilitate money laundering, to move around criminal ill-gotten gain. I mean, the job scam is also out there to make money off you. So it's not just facilitating money laundering, but it's also to take your money.
So, money is the goal. But what else could they possibly get? According to Jennifer Quaid, an executive director at Canadian Cyber Threat Exchange, these scammers could also score big.
That they're going to take your personal information, your PII, your personal information, your social insurance number, your bank details, and they're going to sell it on the dark web. And that's where it has the value. And then somebody else is going to come along and either steal your identity, create a whole new identity for themselves, with which they could do fun things like buy a house in your name, leaving you with the bills.
So, how do we protect ourselves from this type of fraud? Here's some advice from Anandya Sen. Be cautious, verify, adjust privacy settings, and report suspicious activity. What should you do if you find yourself falling for the scam?
I want you to do two things. I want you to report it, and you report it to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, or contact your bank. Ask for their help, ask for their advice. You can also go to organizations like Equifax and TransUnion to check your credit score to ensure, and you can also put a lock on your credit cards to ensure that nobody can go into a department store and take out a card in your stolen name and then rack up all these charges.
And remember, don't feel ashamed. Sharing your experience helps others avoid the same mistake.
The criminals are only doing this because it's successful. If we all take a minute, think about what we're doing, don't answer that email, it won't be as successful. And they might stop or look for other targets.
And assuming those spam text messages are getting on your nerves, there's a quick fix.
Take the text and you forward it to 7726, and that will go to your telco provider, and they will block that whoever that came from. It's an anti-phishing campaign that all the telcos in Canada work on.
Did you know that by reporting fraud, you could help police connect the dots on various other scams? According to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, your information can assist ongoing investigations, stop crime trends, and help law enforcement prevent future scams. And hey, if there are any scammers tuning in right now, listen up.
It's against the law. If we get you, we'll arrest you, we'll charge you, we'll put you in front of a judge, and if you're found guilty, then there'll be consequences.
So, here's the bottom line. If you receive one of those too good to be true job offers, treat it like a red flag. Stay smart and stick to verified job postings. Avoid chasing after those red flags. And remember, you're not just protecting yourself, you're helping others too. Keep your eyes peeled, stay safe out there, and happy job hunting. Shivangi Sharma, Global News.